Alright, welcome to another episode of making YouTube content while completely and utterly sleep deprived, while hoping that two of my friends are going to help me making said content.
We're also sleep deprived though.
Insomnia Squad, crab clap.
Insomnia
Feels good,
Squad
man.
is here, dude. I don't know if that's a feels good, man. But today,
Feel sleepy, man.
we're gonna be talking about this circle jerk of negativity that's been going on in the community. I mean, if you look at my channel alone, there's like so many negative connotational topics. Like everything just has a negative connotation at some point. And I brought Nate here because people say that your voice has a nice contrast to my foreignness. So I guess I gotta keep you here.
Oh wow! Does that just mean I'm American? Is that what
Apparently.
that means?
I mean, I guess that's good enough reason for me to bring you back here.
All right, dude. Feels
we
good,
also-
man.
We also got Birdie here because, quite frankly, I couldn't find anyone to replace him whose opinion I actually give a fuck about. So
Oh, damn.
Damn.
also,
I'm literally just here
also,
because Nate has no, or Cliff has no friends.
listen,
Oh,
Birdie.
no.
All right, the reason why I brought you here is because you bring kind of a unique perspective. For a bit of context, Birdie and I we played a lot of Ark in the past few weeks, and obviously we ended up talking about Overwatch. And whenever Echo and I go on a rant about what we don't like about Overwatch, there's Birdie always saying, "Well, it's not that bad, guys. I'm actually having fun." And I feel like if we have you playing that part of the shtick, and we have Nate doing the other part, maybe this ends up being an interesting discussion, which I don't even have to do anything. You feel?
Oh, I can do that. I can totally do that.
Wow, dude, he's making us make his content. We need it.
I legitimately do still have fun playing Overwatch, though. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I still have fun playing Overwatch.
Depends.
Okay, let's set a line here, like groundwork that we can start this discussion off of. In light of everything that what feels like everyone is saying about why the game is no longer fun from both a competitive and a non-competitive standpoint, how can you have the audacity of claiming that you still have fun?
Yeah, dude, you're too happy
Okay.
to realize how miserable
Okay.
you should be.
Look, let me explain how I have fun in Overwatch, right? Like, every time I get on Overwatch, like, if I were to try and play right now, or not even right now, like 3 hours ago, no one's probably online. I'm probably playing something else. But whenever I see, like, certain people come online, I'll just start getting a group going, and I just have fun. I don't care about winning. I'm just dicking around on Lucio, trying to kill Widowmakers and stuff like that. Like, that's the experience for me. It's always just more fun with friends.
But if your
and
entire
I know-
experience is based on your friends, and then you need your friends in order to make the game fun, is that a fun game?
You can
If you're
literally
completely
take a
dependent on it?
paper bag full of shit, set it on fire, and have fun
Oh,
with
God.
that.
No,
If you're doing it with friends.
the right friends, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're not wrong, but that's how I have fun in Overwatch.
Oh, that's how I have
Like,
fun too.
I know,
only have fun
but
when I'm with friends.
but that's always how it is for me. I got so many friends right now that play. It's like I never have.
Rub
I'm
it
never
out face
short on
how you
people
have
to play
friends
with.
and I don't. All right, thank you so much, buddy.
I'm never short on people to play with though, and it's like, sure, there's stuff that gets released in the game that makes it miserable sometimes. Release Brigida was a nightmare. Oh god, I don't
Oh,
want to think
man.
about that.
No, I don't either. Right click
But-
McCree is the new monster of the video game.
Oh yes, he is. But like, I don't know. I do shenanigans. That's all I'm doing. I don't care about competitive that much. I do coaching on the side, but even then, like, I care more about having fun and just playing with friends in general.
And that's interesting because you say you don't care and you do shenanigans, and people might assume that based on that, you're just an inherently casual player, when in reality, you're the type of motherfucker that turns platinums into masters and grandmaster players, so you know what you're talking about, and you know what this game is about, and still you manage to have fun. But do you think this is a unique perspective from just having fun with friends, or do you think that people who don't always have other people online to play with could also have fun if they had the right mindset?
I think they can if they have the right mindset. What I think a lot of people struggle with right now is like, there's a lot of people out there who try too hard to have that mindset, if that makes sense. Like, if you're not having fun, stop fucking playing. Don't force
Doesn't make the
yourself
game
to
better,
be
though.
positive. I'm saying, like, there's people out there that are just like, don't force yourself to be positive. Like, because that's what a lot of
Yeah.
people say is like, oh, you have to keep a positive mental attitude. It's like, well, you don't have one, so stop playing.
It makes sense, yeah.
But then they never
Yeah.
come back.
No,
Because they never have a positive mental attitude.
I think we got a problem here because I'm losing hope in Blizzard now too because of all the stuff we've heard about.
Dude, we broke his spirit.
So
Okay, in fairness,
it's like getting to the point now where I'm even like, just stop playing Overwatch, man. Go find something else that you enjoy.
I wanted to talk about this topic was supposed to be on the channel way earlier before we heard about all the things. Like my last upload talking about all the things with Activision and Blizzard. If you haven't seen the video yet and you think we're just being pessimistic for pessimism's sake, oh my god, English. Watch that video and you'll understand why we are so pessimistic about the game. If we had this conversation like 1.5, 2 weeks ago, Birdie would have sung a completely different tune.
I probably would be, to be honest, right now. I'd tell you about how I'm enjoying the game, how competitive can even be a good experience right now. It just depends on a lot of other different factors because, like, it really is on people's outlook of what they like. Everyone assumes I'm not doing anything wrong and everyone else is ruining my experience, when in reality, that's not always the case.
You can make a better experience for yourself if you want to. A lot of people have this assumption that I say myself, if you look at my channel, there's a lot of general negativity going on because, quite frankly, there just isn't a lot of positive things to talk about and report on at this time. And this is why I have so many topics with a negative connotation attached to it. But if you watch any of the videos that never get any views, where these like highlight montages where I play with Echo and Nate, like the Doomfist Divine Intervention video and the Teamwork Makes the Dream Work video, you can see that even in spite of playing against really broken things, I mean, the Doomfist video is all about how broken Doomfist is, and we are still having fun. Because we're not getting hung up on how broken he is and how this is ruining the game. We're just like having a laugh about it and trying to make the best out of it. So, I guess now, considering that Birdie and I have been talking a lot, I should probably hand over the mic to Nate. So you can share your point of view on that.
I think they need to figure out what kind of audience they're trying to pander to. Are they trying to pander to the people that want to play with friends, or are they trying to make like a competitive experience? Because they dump a ton of cash into OWL, right? And if you think about like CS:GO, you don't just play that game with friends for fun. No, dude, if you're playing CS:GO, you're competitive. Like, you're playing that game to win. I don't know a lot of people that go around and, just play a couple of rounds of CS:GO for fun. Like, you're there for a certain reason, and you have the atmosphere of the game, and you know exactly what it is. Overwatch is, like, different. It can just be all those things. And even though it's like a jack of all trades, it's the master of none. It can't do anything right.
It's funny you bring that up because I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, Blizzard has no idea who their target audience is.
Yeah, they don't know what their game is.
They want to pander to everyone except toxic gamers, to BH. And
well, they're not getting rid of us because we're still here. So
yeah, no kidding. But another thing I see them like do is well, not necessarily Blizzard. Like, what the community does is like everyone has their like gameplay style and heroes that they like to play, and all of a sudden when Blizzard does something to that, there's just a community uproar about within that specific community of people that like to play Doomfist, that like to play Brigitte, that like to play Mercy, and Nate's the Tracer one trick, and Tracer got nerfed.
Tracer abuser.
I'm not an abuser. I'm just better than everybody.
I mean, at this point, you gotta ask yourself if you play Overwatch, and you kind of approach it the way I can say Nate and I do. Birdie and I, we haven't played a lot of Overwatch together, funnily enough. We've played Arc a lot. But,
a lot, like 100 hours.
Same game.
It's kind of
like
dumb.
150 hours in the past few weeks, yeah. But the point is, if Overwatch is just a platform for you to have fun with your friends on, is it worth considering just moving on to another title if you're not having fun alone anymore? I mean, obviously, there's nothing against
it. Your fun's completely dependent on your friends. You have your friends. You can just go to any game you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can play Arc, a game as broken as Arc, or the Arc reskin called Atlas, and you can have fun in that, even though you know how broken it is, simply because you play it with friends. Anything is more fun with friends, so the thing with me is that before we had this whole like uproar about Activision being way more active in Blizzard's day-to-day operation, I never once felt like quitting Overwatch. Never once. Even though I make all these videos and people assume I hate playing the game, if you watch these like highlight montages, I'm actually having a lot of fun in the game. But the point is just that the point is to discuss something. I'm discussing things on the channel, and if there's something negative to discuss that I find interesting, I'm going to be doing that. But right now, knowing how prominent Activision is, this is the first time ever I've considered stopping to play Overwatch because of how afraid I am that Activision is going to destroy Blizzard from the inside out.
I kind of get the same feeling right now, to be honest. And it's funny because I keep saying I play casually because I legitimately do, but I coach people. And another thing I also do is I play a lot of pugs every now and then. Like I'll just go on a pug spree and just start playing pugs. I already know what you're going to say about this clip, but just hear me out, because pugs are legitimately the best experience that I've had in the game so far. But the counterpoint to that, which is what I already know what you want to say, is like you shouldn't have to go out of your way to get that kind of experience.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm having to do right now, is that when I'm not playing with friends, I'm playing pugs or comp, and comp is dog shit. So I usually play pugs, and the experience is great, but I shouldn't have to. Yeah, it takes so long to set up, and it's like I shouldn't have to do that in the first place. Like the game should just be fun on its own. I should be having just as much fun in quick playing comp that I should be having in pugs, and I'm not. And I think that's one of the things that Blizzard really needs to fix. But
I mean, there should always be some kind of individual responsibility when it comes to being entertained by the game. You can't just be like, hey, make your game fun. Because there's other games where you can just go have fun by yourself. But it shouldn't get to the point where you can only have fun going through third-party sites and stuff.
I also think for new players coming into Overwatch, they will probably find the experience very enjoyable at first. But then they will start getting into, your MMR starts setting in. You start playing with people that are as good as you, and you start getting frustrated because you're getting outplayed all the time. But and that's one thing I see a lot, is a lot of people, there's that negative aspect circle jerk that goes around, when in the reality of it is like, just stop playing bad, forehead. Actually start learning the game, dude.
A lot of people are very caught up in their own minds where, I mean, I'm part of the problem. I'll just admit to that. If you watch nothing but my channel, and we are in a time span where there's really nothing positive to report on, and you see all these negative discussions, or discussions where you can extrapolate something negative out of them, then chances are that things that otherwise wouldn't have bothered you that much might bother you more once you encounter them in game, only because you watched my videos and you perhaps took that away from them. And if you look at the forums, you look at, maybe not Reddit's very occupied with esports stuff, but you look at Twitch chats and YouTube comment sections and Discord communities, all these kinds of places, people are just jerking each other off about how much Overwatch sucks right now. And for me, it's as somebody who, I say quote unquote, has to read that, I do that voluntarily for the sake of being up to date on what the community cares about, but as somebody who reads a lot of these comments, it's very easy for me too to get hung up in this negative spiral of being reinforced in what I already found kind of annoying. But the things that this always goes away when I distance myself from that. I'll be playing a bit of Ark with my friends, I'll be playing whatever else coming out currently, I'm just trying that out, and then I'll get back into the game with Nathan Echo, or just play a few rounds of Mystery Heroes on my own, and I can have a great time like that if I don't think about how other people reinforce that I was having a bad time previously. And I think if people expose themselves less to that, they might have a better time in Overwatch. But if you are already so set into believing that the game sucks, it's really difficult to get yourself out of that and actually start enjoying it again, especially if it's your main game or the only game you want to play.
There's, it's bad because I don't even want to tell the community stop complaining, because honestly, keep complaining. There are some elements of Overwatch that need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun to get rolled in 2CP. It's not fun. It wasn't fun to play against Doomfist, and it still kind of isn't, but it's at least more manageable now. It was not fun to play against Release Brigitte, because she was definitely overpowered.
Oh,
it's not fun to be one clipped by tracers, but at least that takes skill.
Damn right.
Zenyatta main, by the way, still a little salty.
Yep.
Not salty. I could go play Tracer and be all right now. Now that I don't want to get fucking shield bashed into the 14th dimension.
But,
Don't have to worry about that
still,
anymore.
I still definitely see a lot of people out there though that are just like, oh my god, I keep dying over and over again. This game's dog shit. I don't like. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's my teammates are bad. I'm not getting healing. Yada yada yada. Just yesterday, I was coaching this guy he was like high plat and he's like fallen down to like low rolled, and he couldn't figure out why. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm here to help you figure out why. So yesterday I'm coaching this guy, and I put him in a pug game because he couldn't record his stuff, and I was watching what he was doing. And I gave him some like general tips, like, dude, you're not taking high ground, you're not positioning yourself well, you're not doing like using your sonic arrows correctly when he was playing Hanzo, you're not picking the right heroes for certain situations and whatnot. He played a few hours later, and he was like, bro, my experience is already immediately better. I'm like, yeah, because you weren't playing the game correctly. Just get better. It's like, stop feeding, forehead. You know, maybe that's why you're having a bad experience, because you're just.
It's a lot easier to play the game more correctly if you're playing with friends, though, where you can coordinate that.
It's not wrong.
I think the game needs to facilitate that, though. Like, it needs to facilitate the different experience that we want.
How can you facilitate that?
The thing is that Blizzard goes out of their way to not do that, where they are admitting openly that competitive is quick play plus, and there really is no place for competition other than custom games.
Yeah.
It's like very
Comp
simple
is where
things.
I go after work. Feels good, man.
If you think about it, if I want to have fun, I said that in the video before, if I want to have fun, I go to Mystery Heroes because I know exactly what I'm getting. It's a completely different rule set. It's a completely different mindset that you enter the game mode with, and you don't have that in quick play versus competitive play. And if you don't facilitate to players who want different experiences, again, coming back to the whole Blizzard trying to cater to everyone, then people are bound to have a shitty time. It's something that I said on Twitter a while ago was that I can understand why people have such a hard time finding the fun in the game. Because I tried to have a chill time in quick play, playing solo, and suddenly I'm matched up against duos, 3 stacks, 6 stacks, who are playing their main heroes or even meta comps against like my team of solos who all just want to have a chill time. There's a clear disconnect between what players want and what they are offered in each of these respective game modes. And at the same time, you have competitive play where people go to chill after work while others are blood, sweat, and tears trying to get better or get their elo up.
I mean, that eventually goes away when you get to a really high level. Like, you're not just going to be casually in top 500 after work, but I get it.
But you're not going to be in top 500. Like, I mean, there's arguably 500 people in top 500. We know that's bullshit, but... It's like we have
it's
to
in
try,
the number, brother. All right, 500 of them.
We have to try and realize that the vast majority of the player base does not give a rat's ass about what GMs and top 500s are doing, and your average player is dealing with that exact disconnect. The idea of that dude just got off work and really wants to play Pharah against triple hit scan, and you have to deal with that right now in your gold platinum game, and that's the majority of the player base that's dealing with that right now. While other people want to play quick play. And they're playing with people who are like, why are you getting so mad, bro? It's just quick play. And they genuinely want to have like a real match of Overwatch. But there's no game mode to facilitate that in this like casual after work kind of mindset. So really...
I honestly think if you did make quick play into that atmosphere where it was basically just discount comp instead of the other way around, I think it would honestly solve a lot of the issues I have with the game.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. If they just finally stopped being so stuck up about their queue times and stuck up about being like, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and finally set some goddamn rule sets for quick play and competitive play, maybe even add another game mode. And honestly, they should be adding more game modes over time, even if just for events, because the game is getting kind of stale. And guess what other games are doing? They add new game modes to make the game feel more fresh. But the main problem to me is that people have very clear ideas of what they want to achieve, but they all toss into the same pool. And then what happens is that people who all have a shitty time because they come across players who have a different idea of how to have fun, they go to the forums and they start bitching. And they will find other people who have the same opinion as them. And they will be jerking each other off about how shitty the game is. And that's all just because Blizzard is so hung up on like not setting any restrictions or rule sets whatsoever. Would you guys agree or disagree with that?
No, I completely agree, because one of the things I've wanted for the longest time is like, and this might sound, Blizzard doesn't want 2-2-2 comps. They want you to get creative, and I completely disagree because
Goats.
it ruins the experience. Yeah, it ruins the experience for those people and quit playing comp that are like, they want to play the game how it's supposed to be played. And in the community's perspective, that's 2-2-2, except in this goats meta for the most part.
Mhm.
But I think that they should enforce 2-2-2 because that fixes a lot of problems that people have, to be honest. Maybe that forces you to play support and forces you to play tank or forces you to play DPS when you don't know how to play those rules. But then you're going to be a better player.
Play
those rules.
The group finder function has that ability to choose what you can
Who
be.
uses LFG?
That's another
exactly.
group you have to go through.
But what if it was that sort of role system was just implemented into regular quick play queue?
That would fix a lot of problems. Blizzard can't expect us to jump through these hoops to get that experience. It has to be in the general matchmaker. The more hoops you make people go through, the less inclined they are to use that system. And that's why LFG is so goddamn barren and barely used. And if people use it, they disband their group after one loss anyway.
It's true.
Yep.
So if you implemented that system into there, I feel like it'd fix a lot of issues, especially if you force them to play whatever they queued as.
But
my freedom, I want to play tag whenever I want to.
Exactly. From Blizzard's perspective, it's like, no, we want you guys to get creative with your compositions.
Just how they were getting creative with fixing their budget.
6 supports in a game. Oh no, Nate! Oh god.
I want them to stop pretending like this is a matter of freedom, like freedom of choice, because quite frankly, they are not like going through with that design philosophy. They give us no choice in like which maps we want to play, or let alone which game modes we want to play. They give us no choice whether or not we want to engage in a hard 2-2-2 matchmaking system that's not LFG hashtag dead already. And then they pretend that, oh yeah, all these things, or cosmetics as well. You can't just choose which skin you want to buy. You have to buy loot boxes and then hope you get enough currency to fucking buy it with the in-game currency. Like, all these things, they take the choice and the freedom away from the player. But then this one thing, this like token choice we can make of playing any hero we like, that's a liability. And that's ruining a lot of players' experience right now. So they have to choose one or the other.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is a liability. I would rather have, like, Diva Roadhog and then, like, a bunch of random DPS and supports than, like, 5 DPS on my team.
Agreed. Absolutely.
So, like, literally enforcing 2-2-2 automatically fixes that kind of thing for a lot of people.
And that's especially harder to imagine now.
Especially in lower elos too, because like in lower elos, like below gold or like low gold, a lot of people don't understand what a shield tank is. So they just pick 2 tanks is what I've noticed a lot. Whether it's like Roadhog Diva, Zarya Diva, something like that. There's a lot of Diva mains in low elos, and they'll just roll with that. But at least they have a 2-2-2 comp. That's all they want, really.
It's kind of difficult to imagine for a lot of people because there's a huge outcry against enforcing 2-2-2 for obvious reasons, but if you imagine Overwatch launching with a 2-2-2 enforcement, nobody would like bat an eye. So really, it depends on your point of view on the whole matter, but...
You fucked up by giving us the freedom in the first place.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up because you were just talking about how people on the forums talk about stuff like this all the time. And every time they find someone that like agrees with them, they're all upvoting their comments. And then there's that one guy that maybe even has a legitimate point, and he's like, "This is why this is bad," and he gets like a bajillion downvotes from all those people inside the circle jerk. It really does happen. Like
that's the issue with the meritocracy.
You're never right when it comes to Overwatch, even when you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can't be. I mean, even suggesting that you know what you're talking about enrages the heck out of people. So I never claim I know what I'm talking about. I just talk for a living, apparently. So
I've only recently claimed that I started knowing what I was talking about because I've seen the results of what I was able to help people with.
Cut the tape. He didn't just say that.
Yeah, cut the tape.
Oh no, dude.
I said it. I've only recently started doing that though, and I don't do it when I'm. Here's my thing too: is I don't do it in the middle of a game. Like, you should listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. I coach people. No, I'm more talking about when I'm coaching people. It's like, look, I do know what I'm talking about apparently because I've helped all these people get out of platinum and gold and reach masters and GM somehow. I don't know
You
how
don't
I'm
have to
doing
say
it.
it because you can show
but
it. You can show
yeah,
the fruits of
exactly.
labor.
I could show that, like, look, I do know what I'm talking about, so maybe you should take my advice. And when they do, look, they go places. But
Well,
yeah, it's like you're never right when it comes to Overwatch, though. Someone always thinks you're the dumbest freaking person in the world. Like,
Yeah.
they know how to play the game better than you.
and that's like the whole different kind of worm and stuff. Like Blizzard never tells us what is objectively right and wrong, so there's a lot of margin to like discuss and argue things, even if you have no solid point whatsoever to make. Even if what you say makes no sense, Blizzard never said you're wrong, so you still can make the point and feel like you're right. But since we've been going on for a long time, I guess we should call it here and tell people to subscribe to the channel and ring that subscription bell. And now you guys can, Nate, where can people find you? You're still not making videos, are you?
Yeah, I'm not in Wyoming though, so I'm like halfway in between, I guess.
There you go, that's an improvement.
I talk for your living as well, basically.
Awesome.
You talk for a living, I talk for your living as well. That's what I do.
Birdie, where can people find you?
Oh, absolutely nowhere. You can find me on
AC 130.
Discord, chilling on servers. Yeah, okay.
That's an inside joke nobody will understand,
Twitch.tv/birdie30.
by the way.
Yeah, no one's ever going to understand that. Twitch.tv/birdie30.
All right.
You
Awesome.
can also
I guess
find me on Fiverr. $10 for coaching.
you are actually
wait
on
just a
Fiverr? No way.
Yep.
I am
Find me
not
on
linking that in
Chatterbait.
the description. I'm not linking that in the description. People can find that on their own. I don't
No,
know.
please don't, because I don't use it. I just take personal requests.
All right. All right, boys. Was a good talk. Let's see what the people have to say. Obviously, all of us are wrong anyway, so be prepared for the onslaught.
Oh, yeah.
Subjectivity, dude. All of our opinions are right in their own special little way.
All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. And I hope to see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.